We all love this game, and if there's something I truly enjoy doing, it's building. And I did a lot of building. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my top 10 builds of last year. Alright, the first build I want to show off is this satellite build. As it might appear big, it's actually a pretty compact build and not that difficult to rebuild. Only blocks you really need is the red nether bricks, some stone, and well, these blocks, copper, dripstone and all that. And glass if that's what you prefer for the dish. I like to use glass because you can kind of take the rest of the build in and not be obstructed. And also, if you use shaders, or well, not even shaders, it doesn't cast a large shadow below it, which I find really important, especially if you want to use it in survival, making everything spawn proof. But the real thing I want to show in this tour, and that goes for any of the builds, is really the interior on these, because they're all focused for survival play. So you can easily build this in survival, as I said. Plenty of storage, utility, and all the things you really need. And as we go, well, if I find the ladder, that is, which should be here, exactly. If we go up, there is more actually. Got full enchanting with plenty of extra space you can, well, upgrade to with chests and whatnot. Got your utility, sleeping, and a bit more, brewing, storage, banner crafting. But the reason I like this build and why it's in my personal top 10, it's something you don't really see when you visit any world. For the next one, this is a whole new scene. So this is actually a fancy bakery I made quite some time ago. Well, it's pretty obvious it has a cookie and a bread pixel art and a small cupcake on top with a smoke trail kind of going to the cupcake from the chimney. Other than that, it's a pretty compact build, but definitely one of my favorite. It's so vibrant. It's, well, like I said, it's compact. It fits anywhere in like a fancy build. But like the real fun is just again in the interior. The floor pattern. These are lodestones, so definitely not the cheapest material, but it looks really nice. These are custom heads, which unfortunately you also cannot have in single player, or just, well, if you build this on your server. But these can easily be other things like actual cakes. That's an easy replacement. Got some storage, so this can be used as a survival base. You see the whole attic is just empty. You can definitely put a floor in here and actually have survival base in here. Some outside barrels and containers. For the third build I want to show off, it's actually a whole new style of build. This is a church, as you can see, on a massive cliff, which is extremely interestingly textured. So in this case, I really want to reflect the windows on the interior. So we have red windows, and well, with red windows comes a red interior. And if you're gonna ask, well, JP, these corals should be dying because there's no water attached. Well, if I break this, these slabs are waterlogged. So it's essentially still connected with water. Hence, they're still red. That's this. And we have a tower on this. So if I just fly up, you can look down. This is just some extra storage. So like all of the other builds, you can turn this into a survival base if you do want that. With plenty of storage that I just spam down here. with a nice frame supporting the roof. Also used some stained glass here to just make it a bit smoother and just give it some different white textures, which I really like. Obviously, I do not recommend using these side doors because, well, you know what can happen. Alright, now this build is quite special to me. I built this with my good friend MrMattRanger. This build just came out super lovely, has so much detail. It's kind of like a witch hut, but also like a tree house in a swamp. And you would expect some really moody colors, but this is really very colorful actually. The interior is really where this build just comes together with plenty of functionality to it, so you can brew your potions here with some storage, you know, even grow your own stuff here. And we also just have the staircase all tucked together here. As we go down, well, a place to put here the eggs. Are you smelting? Plenty of storage. This floor is more focused on just looks, because, you know, not every build just has to be only functional. There's just a nice room to, well, relax, I suppose. Some nice visuals. As we go up, we have our bed here. And as we continue the ladder, we have the enchanting station. Just a bit more storage and, you know, a place where you can jam on music if that's what you enjoy doing. And at the end, we have the final top leading to the tower. In case you have an elytra, this might be a very interesting point to leave and return from. Now this build is another special one personally. This build was part of an event we hosted here on the bakery, which is actually the server I've built all of these things on, except a few of them. And this was a Christmas holiday event, which we did with a bunch of the builders on here, a bunch of the bakery builders in fact. And it was a 12-hour streaming event, really fun. For my portion of that stream event, because I also did stream. And this is nice log cabin with plenty of interesting shapes and snow that's, you know, kind of falling, trailing towards the bottom with, you know, ice spikes or icicles, I think they're called. Really cozy, you know, some outdoor area stuff. But as we go inside, this is really where the fun begins. You know, you're instantly met with this massive entrance. And what I really like about this is that the entrance is at a lower part of the build. And as you want to enter other stuff, other rooms in the build, you actually have to go in there. Like you have to hop on, if that makes any sense. And it really just gives a whole different vibe to the build. So as this was built during Christmas, obviously we need a nice Christmas tree. Got some like Christmas lights. Got a nice chimney here. You can just chill. As we go up, got a large bed here, which you can probably tuck in an actual bed in here to make it functional if you prefer that. Got the bathroom in here with a raised bath, which is really nice. And just like another area where you can just look down on the build and really brings the whole build together, as everything is openly connected, no rooms dividing anything except for the bathroom. So for the next build, if you're interested in this build specifically, I have a full time lapse already on the channel. So if you want, you can check that out and then come back or watch it after this video. But I don't want to waste too much time on the exterior of the build. It's very simple. The build really gets carried by the gradient on the roof and just the simple shapes of everything else, making it overall just a very simple and aesthetically pleasing build. But as we go inside, just the color is very nice, and this kind of pattern repeats in all of the rooms. So in the office we have red, really giving it this like more royal feeling. Brown in the living quarters, well, dining area, kitchen. And as we go up, the colors get more bright to make it look a bit bigger than it really is. So we have a bedroom in here, bathroom, and just another like relaxing room. And as you just heard, some of the skulk items are getting triggered. We have a little skull collab just to match the vibe of the build. Everyone absolutely loved the pink wood when Mojang released it. And on the day of release, actually a bit before, I also wanted to jump on the hype and make something I have never made before. So we got this Japanese / Oriental build that I really like. It's probably my favorite standalone small structure I've ever made, just because it uses a bit of everything. Uses banners, special combination of blocks. With the other builds, I would say the interior is more interesting, but that's absolutely not the case for here. As we go inside, we have this 2-player interior with some chests, just an overall cozy vibe. But as we go up, it's a bit empty. I kept this room specifically to put down your achievements in your world. So for example, we got a little flower collection here. The first diamond, for example. First time going into the nether, killing the ender dragon. And you can do this with a bunch of other items, which I find really cool. In the attic, we have absolutely nothing. And before we go to the next build, this build is actually the simplified version of that build and is on the channel if you want to build this. It's a tutorial on the channel, like I said. Now, who doesn't love red? Red is my personal favorite color, and this build just really amplifies that love. With a bunch of wooden components happening, plenty of other bits, just enhance all the color and the diversity of this build. This build itself was made with my good friend Rofo. This will just be another build with a crazy survival focused interior, primarily on the first floor. The second floors just have some other special features, kitchen, dining, and some other utilities. And if we use the staircase in the most safe way possible, got the bedroom, got enchanting, but you can do honestly anything else really. You've got plenty of room to use. I said my favorite color is red, and I didn't lie. The last build that we're gonna see in this list, which is the build right after this one, also just shows my love for red. And just, well, as you can see, this is a massive ship, and it has some very familiar aspects that you know from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. If you go to the back here, if you don't know what this is before I get any crazy comments on this, this is just a small version of the bakery you don't know what the bakery is, yes, it's where you get your bread, but it's also where we build everything you'll see in this video. So just like every other build, we do have an interior to show. We'll do this fast because it's very big. So in this room, you should have a map where you can kind of show everything on of your world. With plenty of treasure, hoarding, all the cannons you'll ever need with, your like cargo bay. Got the helm position. And as we go down, we have more cannons, just another whole layer of cannons, some storage in the back. And just the cargo bay kind of continues. Now on this layer, this is where the survival players will be extremely happy. We got plenty of sleeping capabilities. Got some color. Got your enchanting station, as you should. Here we have our nether portal, and you can see right behind it, it has eggs. So in case zombie pigmen spawn, they will run towards the eggs and will eventually die from the magma. And this is just the heart of the ship. Plenty of storage. Got your utility stations right here. And if we go below the portal, we'll have farms, room for animals, and more utility and smelting. Like every good base should have. I would love for people to build in survival. This build also has a full time-lapse on the channel. I highly recommend to check that out. It is just a very fun time-lapse to watch. So let me know what you guys think and we'll just jump to the next one. Now you might be thinking, GP, why are you in survival mode and why are you sleeping? Well, this build was actually made in survival and is the first in the list. My top one build that I would love to show as much as I want to show everything of this build, the ore rig will get its own video with build process and everything. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be it for the top 10. Now if you think that we were done, then you're wrong. As you can see, the video is still going. I have a special list that I would like to go over. So this year, 2024, I want to focus on mob themed builds. So I already have a sniffer build, but this build, I feel like it's so much more vibrant. It features the LA, which is probably my favorite mob in the game, just because of its unique feature. And as we go inside, it kind of features some like LA beds, kind of where they can rest up. Some shelving units, the living spaces, a big chimney, well, fireplace, I should say. Got our lovely survival space with storage, enchanting. You can access the tower and its smelting capabilities. Got some colorful shulker storage, our bed, and just the blue just shines inside, which is really lovely. This build is technically not mine, so I won't spend too long on here, but I've had the honor to help on this build here on the bakery. This was a video project for Shovel 241, and if you want to see the full build process and amazing storytelling, go check out his video. A big thanks to these three for always teaching me.